I wake up and I see, I didn't read it when I woke up, but I wake up and I see exclusive, New York Post. You know, New York Post, conservative, but not quite, you know, Breitbart level. I mean, they do some reputable stuff, but it also is fairly sensational. But when I think New York Post, I don't think, you know, they're publishing. I generally think, okay, well, they're sensational, but like for investigative stuff, I could, if they're reporting something, they usually vet their stuff. So if you can, in a dumb it down kind of way for the masses, what is the exclusive that the resistance is calling fake from the New York Times, referring to Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, Ukraine? What is the story all about? You have 30 seconds.
Oh my
God. No, I'm
God.
kidding, not 30 seconds.
So it's actually, it is complicated because, you know, the Ukraine story is something that Donald Trump has been trying to turn into a thing for quite a while now, so much so that he was impeached over it. So this is a continuation of the Hunter Biden stuff that we've been hearing. To catch you up on that, if you're not familiar, around 2014, 2015, Hunter Biden was appointed to the board of a company called Burisma, which is an energy company in the Ukraine. So for being on the board of Burisma, he was earning a salary of $50,000 a month. Now, Hunter Biden is a lawyer and he does have a focus in international law. However, he has no reason to be like part of Burisma. So it always seemed weird to people, even back in 2014, that like Mark Ames did some reporting on it back in 2014 that I was going through today. So just some weird stuff. Like, it doesn't look good. And Biden knows that it doesn't look good. He's said as much. He said there's nothing to it because, of course, Joe Biden was the vice president at that time. And Joe Biden, in particular, wanted a certain prosecutor gone in the Ukraine. And he said something about them getting money if that prosecutor was gone. And then the prosecutor ended up being, you know, made to leave, which left Burisma and Hunter Biden not getting investigated. So that's at least the spin that Trump puts on it, that Hunter Biden was getting paid $50,000 a month from this company that he had no business being a part of. And he was like the bridge from the Ukraine to be able to use Joe Biden, for Joe Biden to be able to use Ukraine for their nefarious purposes. So as I said, this is really complicated. So we'll go through some more of those pieces and comment on those pieces. But specifically today, what came out are emails. Yep, it's October in an election year. It's time for the email drops. But this is a little more strange even than I think than 2016 was. So the story goes that this computer guy, this small mom and pop shop in Wilmington, Delaware, was given, we don't know if by Hunter Biden, but was given a laptop that had a Beau Biden Foundation sticker on it. So we don't know if it was dropped off by Beau Biden or whoever, but it had that Beau Biden or Hunter Biden. So it had that Beau Biden Foundation sticker on it. So the tech guy at this Mac repair shop said, oh, you know, it must be Hunter Biden's. And supposedly he found emails, explicit pictures of Hunter, explicit video, like a sex tape of Hunter doing crack, which, you know, he does do, a bunch of scandalous Hunter pictures and things. But the focus is, of course, on the emails, because the emails supposedly prove, we don't know that that's the case, but this is what the right wing, this is what Rudy Giuliani, who is a major part of this, which we'll get is trying to push. Who I should
mention, I recently was at a restaurant where Rudy Giuliani was.
Yeah.
His table.
I think we should
his table
asked him.
Did look like a meeting of the Godfathers, from the movie Godfather. A lot of Italians. I did hear someone shouting "Sleepy Joe" at the table, and Rudy seemed to be looking down at his phone the whole time. Maybe he was working on getting Hunter's emails. Who knows? But I was at a restaurant when my fiance and Rudy showed up. Sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to throw that in.
I'm trying to get Rudy's phone number. If anyone has that, shoot it on over to me. So anyway, these emails that Rudy Giuliani was given, in addition to Steve Bannon, like all your favorite characters on the right wing were involved here. So one of the emails specifically, according to them, and if this email is real, if it's legit, we don't know that that's the case. Here's what it says. From, you'll have to excuse my pronunciation of these names, from Vadim Pozharsky, an advisor to the board of Burisma, and I believe is the number 3 guy in Burisma. And so he said in an email, "Dear Hunter, thank you for inviting me to DC and giving an opportunity to meet your father and spend some time together. It's really an honor and a pleasure," the email reads. So this goes against Joe Biden saying that he had nothing to do with anything that Hunter was doing. And this would seem to indicate, if true, that Biden not only did know what Hunter was up to, but he specifically met with these people high up in Burisma. So another email from May 2014 shows Pozharsky asking Hunter for advice on how you could use your influence on the company's behalf. So Joe Biden has claimed he's never spoken to his son about his overseas business dealings, and on and on. So there's really no new reporting. Like everything we knew, well, the emails are new reporting, but the story itself isn't really new. It's just the specifics of these emails that are kind of new. So this is supposed to prove what the right wing has been saying all along. But there's a lot of questions about the authenticity of these emails. And in particular, we only have the emails which the New York Post has linked to. They had this as an exclusive. We only have them in PDF form. When we had the WikiLeaks drops in 2016, we had the actual emails with the metadata. And this time we do not. We don't have a way to verify that these emails are legit. They could have come from anything. And as disinformation experts have pointed out, well, even if the photos of Hunter Biden are real, which they look to be real, I don't have proof of that. The emails could be fake, or some of the emails could be real, the others could be fake. So we just don't know. It is a bombshell in that the emails take it that step further for proof. We just can't call it proof because we have no idea if it's real. So there's a lot more to it than that, Jordan. I don't know if you want to pause there and dive into some stuff or keep going.
My thoughts are this, Jen, and this is going to be very, well, first of all, before I give my thoughts, we should fill in the rest of the story. There has been a collective meltdown from the neoliberal Twitterazzi. I woke up to MAGA Haberman trending. Maggie Haberman, the New York Times reporter, who is, the head of the Access journalism table. She generally, trades access to politicians for puff pieces. But she, I guess, shared this story or shared details of it. And the Biden, MSNBC resistance freaked out and was calling her MAGA Haberman. Then we find out, and let me show this on screen. While I will intentionally not link to the New York Post, I want to be clear that this story is eligible to be fact-checked by Facebook's third-party fact-checking partners. In the meantime, we are reducing its distribution on our platform, i.e. suppressing it. We are basically hiding the distribution of the story. So that was Facebook. If you want to look at who this Facebook employee is, he is a former communications with Democratic House Majority PAC, used to work for Senator Barbara Boxer, and used to work at the DCCC, which is the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. So basically, he's a lifetime communications hack for the Democratic Party who just switched over to being a Facebook communications hack. So this is what I call, Jen, the revolving door. It's the banks, it's the lobbyists, it's the corporations, it's the media, and the politicians. So people work, on all ends, and they basically go from one to the other. So let me show you some other things here. Glenn Greenwald responded to this. If I were Facebook and I wanted to announce the systematic suppression of questionable news stories that reflected poorly on the Democratic presidential nominee, I probably wouldn't have a lifelong Democratic Party operative make the announcement on my behalf. He's basically referring to this is whoever this guy is at Facebook, this communications person is basically a lifetime Democratic Party operative. Greenwald continued, the power of Facebook, due to its sheer size, integration, and gobbling up of competitors, was already way larger than any democracy should tolerate. Now that they're actively controlling the news and discourse, it's beyond just a menace. It's a terrifying threat. Glenn continued, he quote tweeted Jonathan Chait, who's an embarrassment to journalism. Jonathan Chait wrote a story that Donald Trump has been a Russian asset since the 1980s with zero evidence. Glenn tweeted, read this story from the person who went on primetime MSNBC to suggest that Trump might be a Russian asset since the 1980s, and see if there's even a shred of evidence for the drearily predictable claim that the Russians are likely behind the Hunter Biden docs. Then, Twitter joined the fray. They're actually blocking people from even sharing the story. They're not letting people tweet the story. Which brings us to the New York Times editor. I suppose this editor was involved with working on this story at the New York Post. He tweeted, this is a big tech information coup. This is a digital civil war. I, an editor at the New York Post, one of the nation's largest papers by circulation, can't post one of our own stories that details corruption by a major party presidential candidate. So I wanted to show you that's what's going on. They're basically suppressing, this story. They are suppressing it on Facebook, which Status Coup rarely even bothers posting on Facebook because they just hide. When we say suppression, it just means they're hiding it. They're hiding it in a cave. They're not posting it. They're not.
Well, I think it's also worth saying that they completely froze the New York Post's entire Twitter account. So they deleted their original tweet with their Hunter Biden reporting, and then they locked their entire Twitter account, the New York Post. It's not the New York Times, it's not the Washington Post, but it is a paper that's been around for over 200 years. It's not the National Enquirer. This is serious. This is really serious.
Right. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.